No, we're not, and it's tell you why. And I call it is the iPod moment. You can't get to iTunes or Spotify, which a lot of financial institutions want to get to, unless you digitalize all the front end. The consumer is absolutely, let's take retail banking for the moment, is moving further and further into a very digital, virtual world. But if you look at their banking services, and let's take a look at Hong Kong, it's all manual with form filling and stuff. There's a way of cracking it. I don't think we're going to be away from the digital transformation, and you're not going to get what I call the iTunes or Spotify moment till everything is digitized. At the moment, and all our financial services, this is on a global scale, but just look at Hong Kong. I think a lot of people are being disappointed in Hong Kong and the financial services, is everything is manual, a lot of form filling. I would do everything the bank will want me to do if I actually did it digital. But we're not there yet. And so when people say digital transformation is old school, I actually don't think they have a sense of reality. Look at how a consumer has to deal with their financial services. We see China really driving ahead as the Chinese consumer really buys more and more via mobile, via channels like WeChat, what they're using on Alibaba, all of that stuff. That is really exciting, and they are pushing digital. Fortunately, and I've been quite vocal, is we're not there yet with Hong Kong. We need to learn more from our northern brothers and sisters. The danger where we've got the word big data, everybody doesn't need any more data. They've got so much data. I've always had a problem with the word big data. It doesn't mean anything in its own right. I like the next sentence you said is analytics. What people need from data is the analytics to give them insight to make better decisions and to serve their customers or internal stakeholders better. So big data is a term to say we've just got vast amounts of data, but that doesn't mean anything if it's all manual. You can't get to analytics, the best analytics to give senior executives to be able to do what they need to do in the market and to be competitive unless they get that insight. And you can only get it from analytics. And analytics, you can only do it really, really well if it's going to your other question about digital. Unfortunately, and a lot of Hong Kong corporates, I see that even in China, if not across Asia, are still very manually driven. And you can never, you may have a concept big data in your organization, but it means nothing unless you digitize. I'll go back to that iPod moment that gives you the iPhone and everything else, and you get to digital. If you don't get to digital, you can't use the analytics, and this will become the competitive advantage. Whoever digitizes first, and that's why I think the transformation is for years to come for us, is that's when we end up getting the real insight and analytics we really want. And some organizations are doing it. Big data in itself, it's a great buzzword, and that's why I think a lot of people are disappointed with big data. It's the analytics side of your question which is more exciting. But going to your earlier question, it's the digitalization of it, because if it's all digital, I got access to everything. I can do cause and effect between different variables, different bits of data, and now I'm in a different space. Then I get real analytics and real insight. There are a number of very big challenges for the industry going forward. One, it has to get its costs down. I think 2017, 2018, the rise of fintech and wealth tech and all reg tech and everything else is going to give the industry a breather from the heavy regulation, heavy manual processes that are in place. But I think organisations have to start acting now, because if you want to achieve a goal or be competitive in 5 years, you don't start in 5 years' time. You have to start now. And what is really good about what I'm seeing with fintech and all the ones we've talked about, wealth tech, reg tech and all of it, it's no longer the massive price point. This is what's so great about these great small organisations. They're forcing things using the new technologies and AI and cognitive in using the cloud. We're putting the price point so low and competitive, and they're still going to make money, but in a way that institutions that have just overburdened with, let's say, it could be a regulation, but with manual processes, they can actually jump on and not pass this massive cost back to the consumer. That's what I'm excited about. And I think 17 and 18, we're going to see that this is going to give us a way out of I call it the molasses of the bureaucracy and stuff, which here is a way that don't worry about disruption, worry about the benefits you're going to get. And the benefits ultimately would be the consumer at a better product at a better cost.